Of all the memorable contributions from director Kevin Smith, none quite stand out like the project that started it all. Brian O'Halloran, Jeff Anderson, Jason Mewes, and Kevin Smith would all bring various roles to life, from smart-mouthed stoner slackers to irritable rude service workers. This movie was the one that would spawn an entire universe. And with that, hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Macabre'Gorium Labs presents School of Boredom, a showcase of things likely forgotten. My name is Bats, and I'll be your guide today as we explore Lesson 111, Clerks. I'm not even supposed to be here today. For this lesson, we need to once again go back in time, back to the 1990s, 1994 to be specific. In 1994, we were introduced to a funny, low-budget movie from the now iconic director, Kevin Smith, and this movie would be called Clerks. Clerks was the breakout movie from director, producer, and actor, Kevin Smith. To understand Clerks, you need to know a little about Kevin Smith himself. Kevin was born on August 2nd, 1970 in Red Bank, New Jersey to Donald and Grace Smith. At the time, Donald Smith was a postal worker that was growing to hate his job, and each day became a struggle just for him to go to work. With Kevin seeing this growing up, he vowed not to have a job like that. He wanted to enjoy what he did for a living. In school, Kevin was a reasonably good student and regularly taped the school's basketball games. He also produced comedy sketches like you would see on Saturday Night Live. After high school, he decided to follow his dream and began to attend the new school in New York City, but didn't graduate. On his 21st birthday, Kevin got the kick in the butt that he needed to make his own movies by watching the movie Slacker. Our audience should take note that this movie is not to be confused with the 2002 movie Slackers. Slacker heavily impacted Kevin as the film had been shot in the hometown of Richard Linklater, the director. Realizing you don't need a huge Hollywood set, big-name actors, or a large budget, Kevin was inspired to create his universe in his hometown. This change was just what was needed to jumpstart the project. And so, Kevin moved back to New Jersey and began working at a convenience store to save money up to make his film. To make Clerks, Kevin maxed out over 12 credit cards and sold his comic book collection to raise the $27,575 that was needed.
Kevin Smith also had the brilliant idea to use a lot of his friends and family as the cast, so that way he didn't have to pay high-priced actors.
But he was a man on a mission, so it was worth the sacrifice to see his vision come to life. In 1994, Kevin Smith founded his production company, View Askew Productions, with longtime friend Scott Mosier in order to produce Clerks. Now that you know some of the backstory, let's get into the actual movie. Clerks is about two friends working at a convenience store and a video rental store.
A fun fact, the convenience store and video rental store seen in the movie are where Kevin Smith had actually worked in real life.
The movie opens with Dante Hicks being asked to work on his day off, and Dante, being who he is, agrees to open the store for the morning shift.
What? No, I don't work today.
As soon as he arrives at the quick stop, he begins to get the feeling it's gonna be another one of those days. Initially, Dante tries to open the security shutters, only to find gum jammed in the lock. He solves this problem by putting a sheet over the shutters that reads, "I assure you, we're open." After a while, Dante's best friend and resident slacker, Randal Graves, comes in.
Randal works at the VHS movie rental store next door.
Randal doesn't seem to care about his job, as he doesn't even do the bare minimum for his customers. He also spends most of the day hanging out in the quick stop with Dante, leaving his customers waiting for hours to return their movies. When he does interact with his customers, he's usually rude and condescending. Back over at the Quick Stop, Dante and Randal discuss various subjects, from movies and relationships to difficult customers.
Now this is the part where I'm sure many people in the service industry are also able to relate to these issues.
Eventually, Dante finds out that his boss, who was supposed to do the evening shift, has left for a trip to Vermont, and Dante is then required to stay and keep the Quick Stop open until closing. Since originally Dante had the day off, hence the title of this video, he had plans to play hockey with his friends in the afternoon. You might think he would have to cancel, however, Dante just decides to get creative. Not to be thwarted, he invites his friends to play hockey on the roof of the Quick Stop, and this goes well until the puck is launched off the roof and into a drain. They only had the one puck, so the game ends quickly, further irritating Dante. In the midst of everything else going on in the store, Dante is trying to figure out if he should stay with his current girlfriend or get back with his ex.
As a side note, his current girlfriend Veronica loves him and is always doing things for him. His ex Caitlin Bree, on the other hand, always cheated on him.
You know, she only cheated on me once.
Oh yeah? Remember the time she got you to help paint her house?
Nobody's perfect.
There is a funny situation that arises when Caitlin shows up to meet Dante at the Quick Stop that leads to her becoming catatonic. But you gotta go check that one out on your own.
We're good today, Sal Bob. We're gonna make some money. And you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to a party. We're gonna get some then I'm gonna this anything that moves.
Towards the end of the day, we are introduced to everybody's favorite iconic supporting characters, Jay and Silent Bob, local drug dealers who come in to invite Dante to a party with them. Dante declines the offer, however. But before they leave, Silent Bob points out that Veronica actually cares about Dante, and maybe Dante should get over himself and be with her.
You know, there's a million fine-looking women in the world, dude, but they don't all bring you lasagna at work. Most of them just cheat on you.
Come on, man.
This causes Dante to realize he's actually in love with Veronica and goes to find her. Unfortunately for Dante, Randal is busy talking to Veronica and telling her about Caitlin and how she should leave Dante. She agrees and breaks up with him. As you've probably guessed, this winds up with Randal and Dante getting into a fight inside the Quick Stop, causing a bunch of damage. After the fight, Dante again says he's not even supposed to be there today. And Randal heard enough and tells Dante that it's his own fault and he could have left at any point in the day. The movie wraps up with the two making up and closing up the stores for the day. Randal grabs the "I sure you were open" sign and tosses it at Dante and says, "You're closed."
You're closed.
Shameless plug!
Hey everybody, if you're enjoying the video, please click like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can see all of our weird, creepy, odd, strange, or eccentric content as soon as we get it out to you. Now without further ado, back to your video. This movie does start out kind of slow, but it invites you to spend a crazy but apparently normal day in the life of two convenience store employees. If you haven't had a chance to check out this movie, I highly recommend it. It will definitely give you some perspective into what clerks have to deal with on a daily basis, and maybe you'll treat them nicer, and maybe not. Superfans need not worry, as we will be covering almost all of Kevin Smith's View Askew properties in future School of Boredom lessons. However, we decided to start right here where it all began.
And one last note, Clerks only cost $27,575 to make. However, it grossed $3.2 million. I bet you studios are kicking themselves in the butt now.
And with that, we've come to the end of the video. I've been your host, Bats, and I hope you enjoyed this in-depth look at Kevin Smith's first master classic, Clerks, through our School of Boredom lesson, number 111, Clerks. I'm not even supposed to be here today. Be sure to check back next time so you can see all of our weird, creepy, strange, odd, or eccentric content as soon as it comes out. As usual, think for yourselves, be excellent to each other, and keep it creepy. Hey, thanks for checking out our video. If you'd like to see more content from us, click this link right up here. If you'd like to check out one of our partner channels, you can click this link right over here. Either way, we hope you click subscribe and like and check us out for more content, and don't forget to turn on notifications.